All right, and welcome to this edition of Fire Team Talk. I'm Ruben Gomez here with the infamous Johnny Roth and our guest today, Curt Nagel from Marine Corps and Ocean County Sheriff. So thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Good, John. You wanted to start with your your bullshit freaking icebreaker questions.
Yeah, icebreaker questions.
Yeah,
and
just-
I am going to take him on a
Curt,
date.
just talk about your favorite color. He loves that shit.
I don't know. I will buy you a steak after this, actually, and maybe a beer, free beer. So, you in? We'll shut these lights off. AJ wants to shut these lights off. We can play a little game. But
Play a little game.
I played that game before.
see, it's this is
Who
normal.
really wins and loses in that game?
There's no judgment.
I don't
here.
really know who's in my mouth.
It's win-win. All right, just a few little questions. So, start off. What is your morning routine like?
I'm not Jocko. I've read the books.
No one's him.
I kind of wanted to know what he was talking about. Read them, love them. I do not wake up at 4:30. I got to be to work at 7. I wake up at about 5:45. Roll out of bed, take a massive dump, jump in the shower, look at the watch, see that I'm 5 minutes late, and speed my way to work.
Right, that's awesome.
Nah, no morning.
No, you had no
workout,
morning routine, nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Did Johnny tell you we actually met Jocko at a book signing for his last book? Or was it that Dichotomy of
I
Leadership?
saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
we got
That
to
was
meet
actually a good trip.
Yeah,
Very inspirational guy.
Oh,
love,
yeah, he
love his
knows.
messages.
Oh, he's
Very
awesome.
knowledgeable. I'm just not getting the fuck up at 4.
No, I like my sleep. I like to sleep in.
Yeah. No.
I'll attack the day
Fuck that
when I
shit.
wake up, but 4:30, nah. Especially when I'm working overnight. So that's mid shift anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
But
So Curt, you did what? 10 years? 10 years in the Marines?
Yep, 4 active, 6 reserve, broken time a little bit. Thought about going back.
what's broken time for the guys that people don't know what broken time is?
Broken time, basically you get out, you get the phone call to come back, and they're like, hey, we'll keep all of your stuff the same and maybe even promote you. And
How long was that gap?
wasn't long. Like, probably got the phone call in 6 months, was back in 8.
Oh, all right.
So that's barely that. So you had a little taste of
Little
you had the
taste of
DD-214 in your
freedom.
hand.
Yeah,
And then you got sucked back in.
I can't really grow facial hair. I tried while I was out. So
You have some fancy hair
yeah,
though.
for probably a solid month and a half, I didn't shave, and then it got itchy. So I never reached past that itchy phase.
Did you always just look like you never hit puberty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
He's got the little some beard. He's got some here.
He's got some fancy hair though. I'm pretty jealous of that. You got some nice hair.
Yeah, if I ever start losing the hair on top, I'm going to plugs. Not joking.
Did you guys want me to
I do not
give
want
you
to be a
some time?
bald guy.
Want me to leave the room? Give you a little bit of
I want to
time?
actually know his next shampoo is next. If you don't mind, Mr. Gomez.
Wow.
Salt water, ocean water,
Very nice. Nice long
wonderful.
walks on the beach.
life.
See, I knew it was going to come to that.
We weren't joking, all right? We've showered with plenty of guys in boot camp, all right? And the academy, all right? It's not awkward for
I
us.
thought we
I'm
were-
com'fortable.
How'd you
but I thought we
shower
weren't
in the
gonna talk
army?
about
Oh,
How'd you
what-
shower in the army?
that. Probably the same way as the Marine Corps did.
How?
Wait.
Shower's a shower.
Wet?
Wait, you actually got to get wet?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many times we got wet in boot camp.
Who was
I
the
don't really
wagon wheel?
remember it. Yeah, it was a wagon wheel. It was everyone get naked online, and then you literally walked through the shower.
Yes. And
Back online.
don't walk too quick.
And then get
Don't
dressed.
slow down either. You want to be right in step. I'm telling you.
And then the best part was going into the shower to clean it. That was your actual shower
Yeah.
with like bleach and steam and
What's worse is
scuzz,
showering by the
scuzz.
or showering by the numbers. They usually go by the numbers. They tell you what to do. And
Yeah,
all right,
1 done.
yeah. 2, hey, you might go to your balls. All right, now, hey, guess what? Guess what's next with that?
I still shower like that.
That's your face.
You still shower like that?
Yeah.
Do you go?
Did you
What?
start
turn on-
yelling
turn-
out numbers and
Like,
shit?
turn on the shower, I yell out numbers, I jump in, and I jump out.
You go balls to face? Because that was supposed to be like a bad punishment. I don't know if you do that to yourself now. You start hazing yourself at all.
I
Dude,
really
they do what every guy does. You wash your armpit, you wash your balls, and then the water hits everything else.
I really love how this conversation like.
All right,
just-
I know,
mean,
we haven't started this.
We went right away with that. Can we get back on track?
You know, I think that might be. Well, actually, I do have one other icebreaker question kind of deal.
Curt,
but
what's your favorite color? There it is.
No, crayon. What's your favorite crayon?
What's your favorite? What's the favorite flavor?
What is your
I like the whole box.
your preferred weapon of choice?
My preferred weapon of choice.
Like carry on daily. Your daily weapon.
EDC, tactical. I don't really care. Something that shoots. I carry a Glock 43.
That's what you
it's
carry?
Small. Yeah. Throw it.
Why
in
do you
pocket,
prefer a Glock? Why I'm just saying why the 43?
It's just small. Like I'm not trying to save the world and stop bank robbers. I mean, my 43 is to protect my wife and myself during an active shooter event, or anyone comes at me, I'm gonna comply. You want my wallet? Here it is. Like I got nothing. I already went through Afghan. I already got shot at. I know what it's like. Like, dude, I don't want to get shot at again. I don't want to shoot people. Like, so I'm done with that life.
Being with the 43 to 9mm, it's not really about the hole. It's about shot placement.
Yeah,
more
shot
or less.
placement.
Always.
Well, who's shot placement?
Always.
Yeah, shot placement.
It's not the biggest round, really.
My wife and I talked about this actually just the other day. So we're talking about different carry, different carry formats and all that. It's all about shot placement, and yeah, you're not trying to save the world.
Yeah.
It's personal protection. I mean, realistically,
so the guys that have seen me shoot, they know that like, if you shoot me, you better hit me. Because if I get rounds going back at you,
like a round,
it's not gonna be good.
I don't know, for the people that don't know, that don't follow Recalibrate, or who we're affiliated with in our nonprofit, we have posted your videos at least twice.
Yeah.
Once with the M203, you're standing straight up, everyone else is ducking, and the
was
guy
a
made a
nuts.
shitty shot, whatever, and you stood up and go, "Now give me that." Boom.
You missed the Scarface quote, like in the heat of the moment.
Nope, I caught it. I've seen that video. You showed that to me.
I literally turned around, like the kid. He was my point man, Thomas. Love him to death, but I'm like telling him the building to hit, and I could just judge by the angle of his leaf sight, like he is nowhere near the building. I don't know where that round went. That was beer. It just came out. Yeah, because I'm still hungover from AC last night. Great times. AC boat show, everyone. Next year. But anyways, I see his leaf sight. I'm like, no, you're way too high. You're way too high. And he just, thump, there it goes. So I take it from him, and
God knows where that one went.
I load one up, and I'm just like, say hello to my little friend. Fucking send one. That HE was actually not really to kill them, but to mark the target, and we got an F-18 gun run out of it. So
nice.
It was pretty fucking sweet.
That was pretty awesome to watch, huh?
It was like the only fixed-wing aircraft we got the whole deployment.
Awesome. That's good shit right there.
It was fun.
So, why don't we start kind of like for the sake of a timeline, we'll start at the very beginning. Like, why don't you tell us about, your upbringing and kind of like what led you into joining the Marines? What led you to join the military, period, but of course, why the Marine Corps versus other branches?
Yeah, because you have a different upbringing than most people, and I think that's kind of interesting for people to know about where you came from. And
yeah, I mean, my life really starts with my mom's upbringing. And I know everyone's like, well, yeah, no shit, like you're raised by your parents. But my mom had a really interesting life. She was one of many kids. Her dad was a merchant marine. Every time he came back from being on overseas or whatever, he'd basically get a new wife and have more kids. So she had a bunch of different brothers and sisters. She was split up from them, put into foster care, put in the whole state system. She was out in Arizona. All the kids get split up. She went through the whole foster care program, every type of abuse. She actually witnessed her sister being murdered. Then during that, she tried to escape. They held her under boiling water, burned her whole right side of her body. So she's all scarred up and, emotional. She's writing a book about it. She still can't, finish it, but eventually. So
wow.
She had me at a really young age. She was 18, 19. My dad, my birth father, I've only ever met once face-to-face. I called him one time. My mom, after 17 years, remembered his phone number. And it was right before I was going to boot camp, 2 days before.
That's what you called him?
Yeah, that's the first time I ever had contact with my dad.
Sure, he wasn't ready for that one.
He was not. I mean, could you imagine, a random number? Normally, we don't even pick up random numbers nowadays. We look at it and we're like, yeah, voicemail. They'll send me a text if it's important, right?
Yeah.
Telemarketer.
Yeah. I'll call back later.
So, so I call the number. He answers. He's like, hey, Robert Todd. And I'm like, Curt Nagel. You might know me as Curt Blues before I was adopted. And he's like, Blues? He's like, I knew a Tracy Waveda. She was a Blues. And, like, my mom's name's actually Cynthia now. They had to change the names several times to keep them in, like, protective custody, like, through all this stuff. So my mom's name changed. My name changed. Like, a whole bunch of interesting shit as a child at a young age that somehow I remember. Like, most people don't remember things from, like, when they're, like, 3, but I remember everything. It's weird. So
I don't remember anything I did yesterday. But.
Yeah, he answers the phone, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm your kid. Like, I didn't know what to say. And he's like, what? And, I tell him who my mom is, and he's like, yeah, no, you probably are my kid. And I will never forget this. He might hate me for saying this, but he's like, I'd like to do, like, a DNA test just to make sure you are my kid. But, like, I think he's gotten past that now. He's realized, he...
You keep in contact with him?
Yeah, we talk probably twice or 3 times a year. Like, I'm never gonna have a father. Like, I faced it. That's it. So.
Yeah, you think that like had played a big role with you, like growing up wise, and even now, or do you think?
Oh yeah. My mom met a great guy, Troy Nagel. He's the one that adopted me when I was 5. He passed away when I was 10. So my mom was constantly going through, a manly figure, but really I was the man of the house at a young age. So from the time I was 10 on, I raised my brother and sister. My mom always worked 3rd shift, 2 jobs. I remember one point in our life, like going on Sundays to the church, and we were getting food. Like, when you're like 12 years old, you don't know why you're going to church to get the food. But, now that I'm older, I realize why, So, interesting. So, yeah, I'm happy for where I'm at and what I've become.
Yeah, those are things you don't tell you don't tell the kids, they're...
Yeah, no, you have no idea.
Yeah,
like, dude, I was excited. I got fucking Frosted Flakes. It was like a 5-pound bag of Frosted Flakes. Like,
Jesus, man.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
Yes.
He's at school talking to his friends at like 10 years old, and he's like, hey, you don't go to church to get your Frosted Flakes? That's where I go. Like, where do you go? He's a supermarket. What the hell is that?
Yeah, and when she would meet a guy and he was doing good or he had a good job, life was good. I had football cleats, and I got new clothes for school, and everything was great. And then when that guy would fade out, it would kind of go back down, and got a job at a young age, kind of got everything myself.
So where were you growing up, more or less? Was it at this time?
Born in Arizona. My mom had 2 children with Troy, my brother and sister, Travis Sierra.
Okay.
So Troy was from Ohio. He went to MSI, the Motorcycle Institute, out in Arizona.
Yes, yeah.
So that's how my mom and him met. So when we moved back to Ohio, we did a little stint, like 1 year in Michigan. I hate that state. Ohio State. For anyone listening to the Ohio State fan, Ohio State fan.
So you're not...
No, I hate Michigan.
You hate Michigan? It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Because I know people in Michigan, from Michigan. That
if you go to the Ohio State-Michigan game, even if Ohio State wins, the city burns down.
It's like Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's kind of like Philly. Yeah, it's like the Eagles. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, so that's.
So you were in Arizona, and I know you were moved out of the country for a little bit, and then get brought back.
Yeah, I did.
My
mom, what was it, like 7th or 8th grade? She met a guy, Ricardo Rodriguez. She was working in a factory. The factory was actually kind of cool. The Oscars. Mm. She worked in the factory that fucking made them and dyed them in Ohio. Yeah. So they used to like in the bottom of them, like before they mount them to like the base, like they would like write their names and inscribe and shit on them. Yeah. So that's probably out there. I don't know if those are actual like, Oscars that got presented to people or whatever, but yeah,
that's pretty cool.
They got to be made somehow. Someone's got to make them. So yeah, my mom worked in that factory. She met him. He ended up doing some dirty deals, becoming a Mexican restaurant owner. He was from Mexico, knew very little English. I remember I was sitting at the kitchen table, like putting together like a model car. he comes walking into the house. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, great. Like, no, get out of my house. Didn't really like him at first. Turned out I liked him, and then it went all downhill from there. He did some bad things with the business, got deported, decided to take us with him.
Hence the move too.
So I went to Pachuca Hidalgo. They enrolled me in escuela. So I got to learn a little bit of Spanish while I was down there. So I'm 15. I go from my freshman year, like doing really good at sports, doing good in school, to going to Mexico. And
Did you know like that was a big deal? Like I'm going to Mexico, or is it just nothing to you? Like
I didn't realize why we were moving.
Yeah,
I had no idea. So
I also just think it's freaking hysterical because you're like, what, like 5'10", 5'11"?
yeah.
Yeah, blonde hair, blue
White as
eye,
high.
white as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Now you know
Living
Ruben
and going to
feels like.
school in Mexico, like
So-
you had to stick out like
but
crazy.
here's the thing. That's what people don't realize. Like, along the border, I'm going to defend Mexico. Don't everyone get pissed off now. Along the border, they're all very dark Hispanic. They're the people we think is immigrants or illegals or whatever people want to call
Yeah, I
them.
see Ruben getting really mad.
But when you go
Fuck off.
down south, like to like Pachuca, Acapulco, Veracruz, it's actually a huge German population.
Oh, no shit.
Like, they're Spanish, German. They don't have that old Aztec in them anymore.
No kidding.
They're actually, like, I blended right in.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Would not have known that.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, with the World War II stuff with the Germans, like
Yeah.
moving, like they colonized. I
Yeah.
didn't
I
know it was
went to-
Mexico, but I know the.
I got to
I
go.
was watching a
Battle of
documentary on that.
Chapultepec was all French.
Really?
And whoever.
That's a good big Marine Corps.
Marine Corps,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot of
I
history
got
right
to tour the castle there while I was there. So that
That's
was
pretty
Not
cool.
many Marines have
yeah,
got to
no,
do that. huh?
no, that was pretty sick. So, and obviously it was before I became a Marine. So maybe that was my first like
Introduction. Did they talk about the Marine Corps there?
Oh yeah. They talked. Like, we did the whole tour, and they're like, they do it in English and Spanish, and everyone's there. And they talk about how I can't remember who it was. I don't want to misquote it, but some dude, famous
gringo.
general. I don't know if he was a gringo or a French guy, but he wrapped himself in like the American flag and jumped off to not be captured. Like, jumped off the castle. It was, like,
Very patriotic of him.
Yeah. Very.
God bless him.
So then, how did this upbringing now tie into you joining the military?
Moved back from Mexico. Hit or miss, ups and downs financially. I just wanted to fuck out. Like, I didn't want that lifestyle anymore.
You start realizing what you're in,
Yeah,
I guess, or just
I need goals. I need a way out. Like, how do I get out of this small town? Like, in Ohio, my town had basically, I think the population right now is 800 in it. We had 33 kids in my graduating class, and I think 20 graduated. No, I'm joking, but like, very small town.
would you guys have a recruiter in that town?
No, it was in Defiance.
How far away is that from your town?
I don't know. Why do you ask me specific questions?
I don't know. I'm just trying to ask.
Like anyone cares. Like,
Yeah,
where
'cause you live in,
Defiance, Ohio
Like
is.
34.2
Now you're
miles,
getting me,
Johnny.
like-
because you
Jesus.
live in bumfuck Ohio. I want to know. Would
Yeah.
you watch the fucking Marine Corps commercial climbing with slaying the dragons, like climbing the mountain?
No,
Like,
no.
What was your influence?
Actually,
what was like? Hey, what was the day? Did you wake up one day and go, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it"?
Actually, I looked at colleges. I remember being in like computer lab looking at college. I was like, okay, I can't afford that. How can I afford college? And I think I might have used Ash Jeeves, if anyone remembers that. So I used like,
shit.
yeah, there you go. So I
Holy
used like
shit.
Ash Jeeves. And I was like, how can a poor kid afford college? It was like
join the fucking military.
Montgomery GI Bill is like second result. I'm like, cool, what's that? Boom, military. I'm like, never thought about the military. And so I started doing research, and I was like, well, I want to be like, I don't want to just be in the military. Like, I want to do something in the military. So I started looking, and it was between like, Army Ranger or like Marine and recon, and like doing all this research. I remember printing everything out, like salaries, like benefits, like getting all into it. And then age of 17, my mom worked third shift, right? So I go in and I was like, hey, I got a field trip. And she's like, oh, okay. Like, rolls over and like signs it. It's like the court documents for emancipation.
So you just signed.
It's
You had
the
no idea.
court documents for emancipation. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so I take it back to the recruiter. He's like, okay, cool, yeah, man, we're all good. Like, so I think it was November of 2006. I went up to MEPS, I enlisted, and early entry program, and I had a recon contract. Never made it. Turned out I can't swim very well.
You're an iron duck?
I'm not an iron duck.
I don't know. That's a Marine Corps term for people that can't swim.
I don't know. I can pass 4. I can pass 3. I can't do 2 or 1. I don't know.
Was it that side stroke?
I actually don't.
Rescue?
I don't remember what it was.
They changed it up. They've changed
what's
it up.
4, 3, 2, 1? What is that?
That was like the
Doggy paddle.
no. It's the like swim qual 4, 3, 2, 1 Q. The like different levels of swim qual.
Okay.
Well, my original contract for the bonus and going to BRC and all this stuff, it said I had to be swim qual 1. Well, 2 or higher, 1, 2, at the completion of basic recruit training.
Okay.
I go to SOI. They do the recon and docked at the end or whatever.
Don't know SOI.
School of Infantry,
Okay.
right? Camp Geiger. We go there. They do the whole in-dock and everything. And I'm with the 0321s. Like, our whole boot camp got, like, guys, like 15 of us, were supposed to go. And at the end of School of Infantry, I go to 2-6. They all go to BRC. And I'm like, what the fuck? Check into 2-6.
And what's BRC?
Like, basic reconnaissance course. Never got to go. Never went.
No.
Don't really care.
Going back to the swim qual, though, I know Ruben asked because Army, but the Marine Corps, we are amphibious as fuck. Quotes. You have to pass.
So amphibious.
4.
We had to cross canals in Marja.
Listen, you're not storming beaches, all right? Come on. But you have to swim basically. They just have to know that you know basic swim. You can float.
You can float.
Because I guess
that's really what
we are Department of the Navy, so I guess we're on
care
boats
about.
and stuff like that.
It's really if you fall off the boat.
Yeah, that's what they really care.
Will you
save your
float?
ass.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe the next amphibious assault I don't know who that's going to be, but yeah. I don't know. I guess we got to swim.
Maybe.
I don't know. Do you guys swim in the Army? I don't know.
Yeah, for special operations, yeah. You have a swim test.
Oh, because I know the cooks and guys in the band in the Marine Corps are swimming. I don't know why.
If the Marine Corps band is swimming,
Yes.
we're probably in World War III.
Yeah, we're assaulting somebody and bringing all the hate. So you graduate from School of Infantry and you get to your unit. That's
Check into 2-6.
2-6?
They just got back from Iraq. They are on the balcony of the barracks. So all the military guys know what the military barracks look like. I'll describe it for the people that don't. So it's like a 3-story building, very long, not
like the
very
projects.
special, just bricks with
Yes.
these catwalk balconies. They are all standing, like each platoon on the balcony as we're walking up in our alphas with our sea bags, and we just got our SIF gear, which is like all the, the backpacks.
And they're greeting you with flowers and
yeah, they had roses and they're like, welcome.
Oh, that's cute. That is cute. I like that.
They had scream masks on, Jason masks. They were throwing beer bottles at us. I think some kid got hit by like a 3x3 fan.
that's love. I don't know what else
They
to
emptied
say.
the entire barracks worth of trash out into the quad. Yeah, it was awesome.
That was definitely a good welcoming
Yeah,
party.
it was great. Yeah, I think every time I was my room was on the first floor, but somehow I remember keep going up to the 3rd floor, and then tumbling back down with my sea bag. So
Yeah, that's a good way of welcoming into the Marine Corps. Because I mean, you come out of boot camp SOI, you're hot shit. You're walking with your head up high, and then
yeah.
reality sets in.
Yeah.
These
Welcome to the fleet, motherfucker.
And I know you have a story about that too. I think you have a scar that has a story about that too.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm talking about the one that on your head.
Oh yeah. We'll move on from that one. I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
All right, that's for another.
Fair enough.
Let's just say, basically, one of my buddies from back home, cousin, was in 2-6, and he was like the supply corporal guy, logistics, whatever. So he comes up, introduces himself to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna get you out of here." So he takes me to Subway, drives me all around the base, and I'm gone for like 2 or 3 hours. So me not knowing what UA even stands for or is, I come walking down the quad, which is like the big open area. I'm walking on the grass. First thing I hear is, get off the fucking grass! Leg sweep, dragged into the building, doors closed, and I'm just getting screamed at by like all these people that I don't know. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, you went UA. And I'm like, no, I went and got Subway, but you just tossed it on the roof. Like I watched my Subway get tossed up onto the roof. I really want to eat that. Jason Sloan, if you're listening, you remember it. You owe me a 12-inch sub.
5 foot. 5
So
500 foot long.
500 foot long.
the man, actually one of the biggest influences in the Marine Corps, Sergeant Hamilton. He was shot in the face in Fallujah. Crazy war story veteran, like the epitome of like a squad leader, like what you would want, like raising you. Mm-hmm. And as much as they treated us like shit, they really built us up to what we were, and I credit that to our success in Marja. But he shows up. Apparently, he drove from Myrtle Beach up, pissed off because I was UA, which I wasn't. I was at Subway. And I had to sleep at the position of attention while all of the guys that checked in like the week before me had to stand like whatever suicide watch
you had the
or
blue
something.
Light?
Yeah.
The blue flashlight?
Yeah. Yep. So I slept in the position of attention. I wasn't allowed to move. They all thought I was going UA, and I was like, no, I'm not. A couple kicks to the ribs while pushing. Got introduced to bleach and.
Dude, it sounds like Marine Corps was definitely the way to go.
It's fucking awesome.
I just want the public to know that hazing.
No, it was not
hazing.
No,
it is no, but we're trying to.
We're
getting away from
EMI, extra military instruction.
I 100% agree with you on that, but that needs to be addressed.
An alternative method of entry.
I agree, but that's. I want people to know that's where the Marine Corps comes from. That's like the savagery, especially being a grunt. These guys, it's just a different kind of culture. It's not for the everyday kind of
well-rounded training program. I think that's what I referred to.
Well-rounded, yeah.
Well-rounded training program.
Yeah. Because you're gonna get a guy from like MIT going into the Marine Corps, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck? That's not what I wanted." Like, this is not well-rounded, sir. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
So you so now you're in for a little bit, and you get hit with 26 mu.
Yep. Basically, we're on the boat. I get called to the first sergeant's office. He's like, "Hey, you've been UA from BRC for like 9 months." I'm like, "No, you guys, the Marine Corps sent me to 2-6. You said I wasn't going to BRC." I told my fire team leader, he said, I'm never going to be recon and just fucking blend in the platoon and shut the fuck up. So that's what I did. So I'm on the 26 mu on the boat. I had to get a JAG. I had to sit down with a bunch of like first sergeants and whatever and everything, and they did a bunch of paperwork. So they were able to change my contract from 5-year UZ recon bonus to a JH 0311 contract. UZ was like just that contract. Yeah. So it's like, boom, that's gone, like out of there, like buy dreams, buy hopes.
Is that what you really wanted though? Is like to this day, like if you're looking back, are you happy?
No, absolutely not.
You really
No. I'm glad that I stayed. I tried the NDOC a couple times. I'm glad I can't fucking swim. Never would have been a Navy SEAL. No way.
Iron Duck.
I'm a runner and a gunner, man. Like I'm glad I stayed with my guys.
So you got into 26 mu Marine Expeditionary Unit, and then what? Then where'd you go?
We hit a bunch of ports. We went to Spain, Israel. We did Saudi Arabia, UAE, Dubai. Trained a bunch of foreign militaries. One of the boats got to deal with like some of the Smalling pirate interdiction stuff there. We stood guard on prisoners for a couple weeks. That It was it. It was the whole time, like, I think the Captain Phillips thing was going around. So, like, yeah.
That sounds like
I was never a part of it. I was a Lance Corporal. I was a nobody.
Those ports, though, they sound like page 13s and NJP territory. I don't know. I've just heard stories about ports, so I've never been on a boat myself, but I just know ports, Marines.
No, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, I know you mean a good time, but like, were there any good stories?
I'll put it this way. I watched the entire chain of command play leapfrog up the gangway to the boat.
Sober.
Drunk. First sergeant, the
there's
CO,
no other way to do
all
it.
the officers literally playing leapfrog. And then the first sergeant stands up and he goes, salute the flag, salute the fag. And fucking walks onto the boat.
God, we can't say it. We're gonna be fired. We're not gonna have a podcast.
Well,
anymore.
Who the hell is gonna fire us? We don't really have a boss, man.
The peoples.
The people.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No, I'm telling a story.
People.
That's
all right.
quotes.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
I quoted.
People's as in. Is that
We're gonna have to
plural?
haze ourselves after this.
No, I don't mean that in a bad way at all. That's
know.
what the first sergeant said.
All right, that's what the first sergeant said. I agree.
That's it.
Hey. If you have a problem with that, you contact. Nagel's
Sorry,
first sergeant.
Navy. That was my first sergeant.
Sorry, Navy. We didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
So then, does this lead into your Marja deployment?
The workup for the MEU, which is like all the training that you do for the MEU.
How long does that work up?
I don't remember. From the
Couple months?
time I checked in 2-6 to the time we were on a boat. Like, a couple months. So you do that, do the whole workup, get ready, go to the boat, and then as soon as you get back, you got a couple of weeks of leave, a week or two of leave, and then you come back, start going to the field again, you get right back into it. The workup for the MEU, truthfully, if anyone from like higher up Marine Corps is ever listening, that workup's way better than what you send us to for combat training.
No shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that though? Is this because the unit?
Because the MEU is Marine Expeditionary Unit, and you have to be. They're like the world's 911 is what they call it. So you have to be able to respond to anything. We had one little quick we were gonna go to Iraq, and we went to Kuwait, and then we ended up just training. And one of our staff sergeants ran us in gas masks to the Iraq border and said, "Hey, now you can all say you went to Iraq," and then we ran back.
That's just
yay.
Another
Yeah,
more Marine Corps love right there.
Yeah. That was our platoon sergeant doing that. Yeah. He used to come in on Saturdays and run in a plate carrier from French Creek to the front
I was in
gate
French Creek.
and back, which
I
is
don't see a
basically
problem with
just
this.
shy of a marathon. That was our platoon sergeant.
I don't see a problem with this.
So when it was,
at all.
we would much rather fire team and squad PT than platoon PT. Platoon PT pretty much consisted of telephone poles, stretchers, and death.
Death. Nice.
Silver bullets.
Yeah.
I like
He
it.
would have the corpsmen drive in their personal vehicles behind
Ruben,
the
do you know about the
platoon
silver
to
bullets?
throw people into it.
Nagel, I don't know if you want to get into what a silver bullet. Just
Silver bullet?
for not only just Ruben, but anyone else listening. In the Marine Corps, we call it the silver bullet.
If someone goes down unconscious or overheats or dehydrated or anything, you gotta
Usually
check
dehydrated 'cause drinking the night
body
before.
core temperature. And there's only one way to check the full body core temperature, and that's through the anus.
Yeah, that's the old silver bullet.
Got it.
Got one.
They go down.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah, you got one?
Yep, got one.
No, I would fight that one, but
Don't remember. I was
fight it.
I don't remember it.
You can
I was
fight it all you
unconscious.
want. It's still happening.
you don't know what's happening. I
I was
guess
completely
It's like-
unconscious. When I got back to the MEU, or got back from the MEU, I was a pretty decent Marine. So me and two of my roommates, we got sent to squad leaders course as Lance Corporals. And we had the land nav course, and I was given grid 956, and it was supposed to be 695. It was many kilometers off.
Yeah.
Somehow
Little bit.
found a box, made my way back. Checkpoint 2, you're supposed to get resupplied food and water and shit. Yeah, never made it. Came in, you're supposed to be done by noon. I came in at 9 o'clock at night, no food and water all day. And just exorcist style puking, passed out. They actually heloed me out. Core temperature hit 107. I was fucking cooking.
Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. One.
You didn't see?
I know one. Oh, I was unconscious.
But you didn't have a seizure?
No.
Surprised.
No. Well,
I'm surprised.
I don't know.
at 106, you're
No, I was
running
unconscious.
the risk of having a
I was
seizure.
I was in and out of consciousness.
At 106, you're running the risk of having a seizure. At above 106, you're running the risk of brain
I didn't
damage.
quit though.
Explains a lot.
Having seizures, potential brain damage. Yeah, but I kept going. So fuck it.
That explains it.
That's why he was in the Marine Corps.
Ruben's an Army combat medic. So.
He's breaking it down.
He just now explained what I've been going through since I got out of the Marine Corps. I completely understand now.
Yeah, I'm like, that's probably from the time you were at 107 degrees and suffering from brain damage, and you're just like, yeah, but fuck it. I kept going. I didn't stop.
Yeah,
That's why he fits in our group perfectly.
Couple of IVs later, in a day or two, I'm standing in the sergeant major's office, and he's like, not really mad, but it's like, they're pissed off, and I'm trying to explain them the grids, and I actually still had the shit in my pocket. So, I show him, he calls whatever warrant officers down there running the course, and they compare grids. Sure enough, they gave me the wrong grid, so they had to put me back in the course. They couldn't drop me, so graduated.
Yeah, not like the listeners didn't hear you just crack open another fucking beer.
Well, perfect time for a little ad. Well, we are drinking. We are drinking some Backward Flag. The Oak Armored Pale Ale, actually pretty good. Really good.
Quite good.
Tori hooked us up. I did say we're doing a podcast today.
Tori Fisher from Backward Flag.
And this is a great beer, actually. It's going down too smoothly.
Very.
Yeah,
I don't know how many I'm on now, but she hooked us up, and
I mean, yeah, a little bit, freaking 30 seconds ago, you cracked a beer for AJ over there, and then you cracked one for yourself. I'm like, Jesus Christ, freaking people are. They're just gonna be like, holy shit!
We all came in here to
sit around and they fucking drink beer and shit.
I feel like we all went 12 rounds with Mike Tyson last night. We all had our own little story, and then we all come in, have 2 or 3 of these. We're all a little bit chipper now.
Dude,
Perfect.
I didn't get into 2:30 last night, and I was freaking drinking with my brother watching the fight.
Perfect setting for a podcast.
So
Everyone's
awesome.
hungover. We're all over the age of 30. Well, I will be soon, but
we're
like, wow.
But yeah,
That's veteran life.
so that was a nice little plug, though. Right?
We're still drunk.
it was perfect. It was like a perfectly timed break, crack, and oh yeah, and by the way,
See how I did that? I mean, we got 4 more cracks left. All right, so that's all we got left.
Fuck.
Drink quicker. Yeah. So.
All right. So then you get to March, Afghanistan. Now, when was that? It was 2010, I think.
2010.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I gotta pee.
So,
right back.
I'll pee after you, Johnny.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a pee break. Too much beer and Red Bull and water.
We probably could have just edited that out and just take a fucking break. I fucking love this.
I don't know. Where do you want me to start with Marja? I mean,
dude, you tell me. I mean, you did what?
There's a lot of stories I could share from there.
Yeah, we were talking before. You did 7 to 8 months in Marja, which is what is Helmand Province?
Yeah, Helmand.
Helmand Province down south. Helmand and Kandahar are probably the most kinetic, overall the most active, violently active provinces in Afghanistan as a whole, but definitely in RC South and Regional Command South. I was in Kunar, which is in RC East, headed by the Army. That's the most kinetic in RC East, but Helmand and Kandahar are the most kinetic in RC South, but overall, Helmand and Kandahar are the most kinetic overall for the entire country. They're like the fucking Wild West.
Yeah, we got the call. I remember having battalion formation and being told we're going to Marja to relieve 1-6, and HBO's there. We're watching everything on freaking film and the news and all this shit, and it's the height of the Obama troop surge.
Yep.
So we're like, fuck yeah!
What month did you get there? Do you remember?
May or June.
Jesus, man, I was in Afghanistan in April of 2010.
Yeah.
April of 2010, and my unit was there until March or April of 2010 or 2011. But I got medevaced in February. So I mean, shit, we were in the same country at the same time, but obviously,
Different sides.
Way different. How was your piss? Everything all right? Good.
Clear.
Good.
I'm hydrated.
That not to deter from the Marja conversation, but that urinal is really highly mounted up on that wall, is it not?
I may have went in the wrong bathroom then.
Johnny pissed in a closet. Oh, fuck.
You gotta go. Just go ahead. Just go. Just go.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
We'll keep it. No, we'll keep this conversation
Okay.
going. All right. The party's not
Hey,
stopping.
talk about Canavar.
No, we'll take a break.
Canavar.
We'll take a
I
break
was
until he's back. I mean, shit, he's the fucking guest. We'll take a break.
We'll keep this going. No, keep it going. Keep it going.
We'll keep it. Well, fuck it.
Do you want to? Right now, I guess we have a little time. We'll talk about Recalibrate a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not?
We got our peer-to-peer meetings, monthly peer-to-peer, the third Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
At MHA, Mental Health Association in Ocean County, New Jersey.
What's that? It's 25 Shore
South Shore Drive.
South Shore Drive. Top
So
River.
we have our monthly meetings there. They've been going actually pretty well. Not to get into anyone's stories, but I did miss the last meeting, and
Because you suck.
I do suck. I suck at a lot of things, and I got a little pissed off I couldn't make it, but I had other obligations because with the snowstorm jammed us up.
No, it's all good.
But I think needed. I think these meetings are needed for
it went
us
well.
vets.
It went well. We got 2, possibly 3, new people,
faces? And
new faces.
I think once we have people though, they just don't seem to leave. They like to come back every month.
no,
and that's the cool part.
It's
about
been great. And you know what? Everyone's open to sharing, which is great because we have such a diversity of branches as well as time periods.
Yeah,
So,
time periods, ages.
Yeah. So I mean, hell, we got that one guy that's like Vietnam.
Yeah.
And all the way up. So I mean, like we've got a good mix of everybody. Which has been great because everyone exchanges stories from different time periods and everything, and it's just things have been going great. Like you said, you weren't able to come to the last one, and I was there, and it went really well.
I'm back.
Oh, and
Well, I mean,
welcome.
Kurt, you've been to our meeting. We're just
Kurt
talking
was
about
at
the
this last
recovery
one.
meetings. You're at this last one, but like how these meetings are going and how.
for Recalibrate and our peer-to-peer meetings.
Yeah, I think it's a great, I guess you would call it program.
I don't know what to call. I mean, I don't know what to class. We haven't really
I would
found
say
that.
it's a program
It's,
at this point. Yeah, I would
it's-
say program.
It's something I think veterans definitely need because we don't want to sit in front of the VA psychologist that just got a psychology degree, knows absolutely nothing about war, nothing about PTSD except for what he's read in a book.
Right.
And actually, I'm going to remove the D. I don't think it's a disorder. I think it's just PTS.
Yes, I believe that already has happened.
I don't think it's a disorder.
No.
Everyone's
It's not.
is
It's
different.
not a disorder.
Everyone's is different. Everyone has different triggers.
Yeah.
Some people just have sleep issues.
Yeah.
I
mean, I just think the peer-to-peer through all three of us, I forgot to mention earlier, are involved with the Veterans Diversion Program.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Through
think
the prosecutor's office.
I believe, the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. I believe that the mentorship and the peer-to-peer with that is brings a lot of things to light that these other doctors or trained professionals, I would say, that have gone to school a lot longer than we have, because I haven't gone to school. We find out more
went to
information.
school. That was the whole reason. One of the reasons I joined the Marine Corps. Went to school for computer science, and ended up switching my degree halfway through to psychology.
You and Rory.
To understand
You
what
gotta meet up with
I
Rory.
was going through. I basically got a degree to better myself. Literally.
That works.
It's awesome now. Now you're applying that to other
Yeah, I
veterans,
am.
which is
Yeah.
that's what the whole goal is. But what I was getting at, the peer-to-peer, I find out we break barriers and we find out more in depth what's going on, and kind of we can relay that to people that know what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense to any of us or any of you guys, but we do find out more information. I believe that peer-to-peer is pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
For anyone with overcoming PTS, and just their day-to-day stuff. You don't have to have. We have guys that are in peacetime. We have guys that are never seen combat, and just their daily struggle. Everyone can relate to each other and feed off each other, which is the best thing in the world. If you haven't gone through something, someone else has gone through that, and they made it through. And that's the biggest thing is they've made it through, and they're feeding back in the program, which the older guys are giving back. It could be marriage. It could be job stuff.
I remember being over at Marja, and I won't say any names or anything. I don't want to embarrass the guys, but one of our guys, he was in Ramadi, and he kind of stopped patrolling. And we were all like, come out on patrol, man. That's fucking awesome. And, like, we were fucked up, man. We would take, we'd make the MRE bombs with the heaters, put them in Gatorade bottles.
And you put the little, the hot sauce in it?
Yeah, we would do everything.
Hit your eyes?
We would,
or a piss bottle?
We would throw him under his rack while he was sleeping on deployment in Marjo when we're getting RPG'd and fucking, mortar and all this shit and 38 Mike. Like, they would launch that shit into the bases all the time. But we would take the MRE bombs, we would, like, toss him under his rack, and we would film him. Like, and the MRE bomb would go off, and he'd freak the fuck out, and he's still in a dream. And, like, you'd be, like, running in his rack and shit, and we were like, part of you is like, man, this isn't real. Like, he's got to be faking it. But then you come back from deployment, you start having sleep issues, you kind of start seeing it. And then, you realize that some of the guys that I talked to, like guys that were in direct combat, like you shot someone, you shot them, they have less symptoms because I think they got to do their job and they know what they were capable of and they were kind of fulfilled in a way than the guys that went to deployment and were in constant fear of being attacked, might have heard pop shots, but never actually took direct contact. And those guys are more fucked up because of that anxiety level of like
that waiting, that not sure what's going to happen,
not sure of what's going on,
not be able to defend themselves. I think like just like in any other fight, it's human nature. Something happens, you're ready, you tense up, and you're ready to go. Now you're getting it from something else, and you don't know where it's coming from, and or you can't fire back. That was the thing with the mortars. I think huge. Fucked a lot of guys up.
100%.
It's coming in. And I don't know.
You can't do nothing.
Some bases you hear the FOBs, you hear the anti-rocket.
Yeah.
You hear that, which it used to freak me the fuck out for a while. It's like, all right, now you just embrace for impact, and then after a while, you just. I mean, I'm talking to Rory. Ruben right here, sorry.
Stop calling me Rory.
I know.
All the fucking.
I can't wait till Rory gets on here. I'm like, Rory. This is multiple occasions, but I mean. I'm not even speaking from like your perspective because that's your whole story, but for me it was just like, man, like this is that you're not able to defend that. There's nothing you can do about that, and
there's nothing.
You want to fight. You want to just
you can't get it
out.
after
you got to survive. That's it. Like, it's just a survival instinct at that point. Like you're in a position where
you're so vulnerable.
You just have to maintain where you're at and what you're doing, and and just survive. You just got to get through it, and then at the end of it, it's going to sound very, very archaic, but you don't have a release. I've got nothing that I can do after that to like fuck me, well fuck you too. You don't have that. It's you imposed your will on me, and now that that's over, I've got nothing to come back at you because I can't see you. I have no idea where you're at, or you've probably already moved because I was hunkered down for a while.
And that was probably the best part of my deployment was like, it sucks to lose someone. It sucks to, have someone get blown up or, we lost 17 guys. We had, I think the total count was like somewhere around 246 for the battalion of Purple Hearts out of 850, like with attachments. Like, that's a lot of combat. And every time we lost someone, we got to go hunt.
Right.
Like, we didn't have to do census patrols. We didn't have to walk around and knock on doors and use the bats and hide system. Like, we went out for 12, 14 hours to go find the fight. And, we made a lot of mistakes. We learned from those. But, we went out and, it was go hunt. Go hunt the guys that did this to, our board.
You had an opportunity to be reactive.
Yeah, exactly. We got to, it wasn't just defensive or, advising or, we weren't training. We stopped training the A&A and teaching them how to patrol. Like we got to just go out and fuck shit up.
And the A&A is the Afghan
army. Yeah.
Those guys were interesting.
There was so much.
I've seen that. I was with the Iraqi guys for a while, and the A&A are a little bit off. I would say. I thought the IA was a little off, but I would take them. But the A&A were a little different.
I don't even know because I was in both also. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I tell you what, it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. some are crazier than others.
Which one did
they're
you?
just different.
Which one did you like or not like more or the other? Iraq or Afghanistan? And I'm saying by combat.
Pick one, marry one, fuck one, go.
No.
Wait, there's only two.
No. I'm saying.
You got
That's what
Oprah
he's saying.
Winfrey.
Did you feel more secure in Afghan or Iraq?
More secure in Iraq.
Yeah.
See, I didn't go to Iraq. I missed that. We ended up going on the MU instead of Iraq because one of the battalions failed CAC, so we got bumped.
Was that, I know you knew that one.
I felt.
Yeah, I think everyone does.
I think I did a build-up.
So-
We did our build-up with that unit,
Yeah.
and then somehow they made it back to Afghanistan.
Without making it about me. This is about you, but without making it about me, in Iraq, especially the second half of my tour, we were up north, so we were with the Kurdish army, and the Kurdish army, for those that don't understand, there's kind of like an unspoken boundary between northern Iraq and then the rest of Iraq proper, and the Kurds, because they separate themselves into Kurdistan. They're against Iraq. They were against Saddam and all that, and they were realistically like the toughest guys on their block because the Kurds, they have two armies that fight against each other. They have the PUK and the KDP, and they fight each other the majority of the time, but they team up together. They have fought and beaten the Iranians.
Yeah.
They have fought and beat the Syrians. They have fought and beat Al Qaeda. They have fought,
every day is a school day, and you're teaching me because I don't know anything about military history.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to help. Help it anyway that I
couldn't
can.
even tell you who our general was when I was in Marshall.
Jesus
I
Christ.
could care less.
So-
all I cared about was the dude to my left and my right.
And I got you on that. I got you.
But he's schooling up a little bit, all right?
Yeah.
So
I'm learning.
And they fought and beat Al Qaeda, and then they fought and beat Saddam's Republican army.
He was a jerk.
He was a bit of a dick. So they teamed up together and fought all those people, and they beat them all. They were a bunch of tough motherfuckers, like they were. But then they ended up fighting each other. There's actually two armies that fight against each other, which was like these guys are legitimately just fighting all the time.
But not to get into politics about it. No, that's mine. Not to get into politics about it. But I think that's the biggest thing with the Kurds. They've trusted us to do what we do. And I think pulling out of Syria, the Kurds are still fighting with us, side by side.
Sure.
Like, we've built that trust with them.
Sure.
And I'm not getting into any politics because I think that's the one thing we don't do on this fucking podcast is talk about.
Definitely not.
But I think the people need to know inside that pulling out with the Kurds and having that trust that had done so much for us will kind of...
The ground troops don't give a shit about the politics.
No one does.
No,
I'm just telling you
Correct.
what the Kurds do, what their role play in this last 15 years was for the Americans and what they have done for us.
And it was important. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
without
absolutely
a
an
doubt.
important role.
So
And
the reason I was asking, I'm going to butt in here, steal your thunder, because I've talked to a lot of the Iraq guys that never went to Afghanistan, and then I went to Afghanistan, but they didn't, and vice versa, or whatever. And when, like, they had these compound villages in Marja, when we would get contact in them, we felt like there was nowhere to go. Like, you were pinned down, you were stuck, they always had freaking 3 PDFs down every fucking alleyway you tried to go. And I just imagine that being like Iraq, like you guys, going through all the buildings and everything, like, I don't know, I guess you guys did have a place to go. We felt like we never could because every door was secure, every door was locked, like there was nowhere to get out. So I'd rather be out in the open field and I can fit my head behind a golf ball if it was laying on the ground. Like,
It was it was different. It was different because
I hated being in compounds.
First of all, the Kurds, the Kurdish army, they were more, I don't want to say completely, but because they weren't at all, but they were more trustworthy than the Afghan armies. The ANA, the Afghan National Army, the AVP, the Afghan Border Patrol, they're not trustworthy whatsoever. I don't trust any one of them as far as I can throw them because we've been burned by them several times. I've lost guys because of getting burned by them. Whereas with the Iraqis, you do have some kind of gray area with it, but for the most part, especially with the Kurds, they hate Saddam. I was there in 2003, so it was all about Saddam. They hated Saddam just as much as we did. So whether or not there was shady shit going on with them or not, the one thing we had in common is that we did not want Saddam in power. We did not want that. So they were trustworthy in that aspect. Whereas the ANA and the ABP, you really have no idea because some of them are pro-Taliban and they won't tell you. And some of them are against the Taliban and they'll tell you the same thing as the ones that are pro-Taliban. Like, so you never really know what you're getting. So I think the problem with Afghanistan is, there's several. There's a lack of infrastructure. There's more dedicated.
They had cell phones, but wiped their ass with rocks.
I don't see the problem.
That was their lack of infrastructure.
But you know what? Iraq and Afghanistan are the same in that. Yeah. In that,
like you don't have toilet paper, but you have a cell phone.
Like their compounds and their villages were a little bit more substantial. Like they were a little bit more set up than Afghanistan. Afghanistan legitimately like peaked at like the 14th century.
Yeah,
like that's about where they're
you
at.
got tribes right there. I mean, they're still living off of that tribal land.
For people that don't know, where I was in Marja, I think it was like in the 80s. The Army Corps of Engineers built Marja.
Okay.
They literally came in and dug the canals and built this for Afghanistan.
Now they use the canals and the walls and the wadis and everything
against
against
you.
you.
It all against us.
Yeah, I mean it's
nice.
It's nice, isn't it? It all comes full circle.
Now, not to bring it, I'll bring it back though, but I want the people to know and understand your perspective of you getting off the helicopter in Marja. Like, I think because we've talked about that in the past, and I think that was a big role and a big eye opener for you because you came from the MU, and you're welcoming to Marja. I want to hear that.
My welcoming to Marja. So when you first get to like the big base, we were on Leatherneck or Dwyer. I think it was Dwyer. We all came in different pieces, and then we kind of got together on Dwyer. And you do your BZO, you're laying in the rack, and why are you waving a bayonet?
That's what I do.
Awesome.
That's what we do.
So we're
just talk to me, Kurt.
I'm going to talk to you before I get stabbed.
I don't know. So, I would not stab you.
So, anyways, you're laying in the rack and you're just kind of thinking, like, what's this going to be like? Are we going to see contact? Is the war over? Are we going to? We kept being told that 1-6 only made it like halfway down the western area, and then we get told we're going to the western area and we got to finish the push. And we're finally getting on the bird. And have you ever heard of the Gunny Walgreen speech? The John Glenn speech?
Yes, that's the
famous
most motivating
fucking speech, right?
To this, up to date, yeah, this is
it. That's before that's before 1-6 went in. He tells him, you will always be remembered as Marja Marines. Mm-hmm. So we all saw it before we went over there. Someone had posted it. And we get on the bird, and in the military, it teaches you to sleep in awkward positions on every type of vehicle while you're ruck marching, while you're running, while you're on a 7-ton, helo. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going into the most kinetic area in the world right now. I'm not going to fall asleep on a helo.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You sleep when you can.
Like, that's the point of care that you don't have at the moment. Yeah. Like, we get on the bird, they're like, yeah, man, the crew chief's yelling through everything. He's like, yeah, 20-minute flight to Marja. Like, 40 minutes goes by. We're waking up to, like, war. Like, we hear it outside the helo. The 50 cals are rocking, the freaking Apaches, the Cobras, like, everything. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it passes down like telephone game because it's so loud in the helo. And we're passing down that they're trying to clear the LZ.
So you can land.
So we can land.
Yeah.
Is Fortunate Son playing in your head as you're landing, like Vietnam style?
Dude,
yes.
And then so we're
That's all I can think of.
Oh, and get this. We only had one mag.
We
only had one magazine.
What else do you need?
30 rounds. They said we would get ammo when we land. So we got our one mag, our like safety magazine from Dwyer that we got to have. So we're all sitting on the helo. We're like, finally the helo lands. We have our big rucks, our 72-hour bag or whatever you want to call it. And we come running off the helo. And I didn't remember hearing anything besides the helicopter. But apparently 1-6 was in contact, repelling an assault because they knew the changeover. That was the time that they wanted to attack. new unit coming in. And we come around a compound wall, and the gunny from that speech, Gunny Walgreen, is there. No Kevlar, M9 in his hand. Welcome to Marja, Marine. It's going to be a hell of a time. Ammo's over there. So we look over there,
like friggin'
and
Apocalypse
it's like
Now
a
shit.
it's like a 3-story giant fucking compound, like with actual windows and doors and everything. They call it Capizzati, and COP stands for Combat Outpost. So that was the company headquarters for golf for us. So we get in, we start loading up magazines. We're like, basically it was like, take your magazines out, throw them in a box. And you're like, no, wait, those are mine. I was issued those. I can't lose them. And you just grab magazines that were already full. Like you fucking took grenades, you threw them in your pocket, you loaded up HE and everything. And we drop our packs. Well, we dropped our packs, loaded up ammo. And then you're handed maps. And you're like, okay, come here. School circle. You're like, school circle around the sand pit. And I don't remember what rank officer it was or anything, but he gives us basically a 5-paragraph order, blah, 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 blah. No. Don't remember any of it because you're like, what the fuck is going on? So our mission was to basically walk with all of our gear for the entire deployment, like 5 clicks north to relieve the last 1-6 unit, which was a CAT unit that had vehicles. Yeah. So
and what's a CAT unit?
Combined Arms Team, right? I don't remember all the acronyms.
How much does it click though for the guys that?
A click.
For the normal person, I know. I just
1,000 meters. So 5. So we got to walk about 3 miles. 3 miles.
I just want people to know because it'll be like 3 clicks. Whatever.
3 mile.
Yeah,
with
kilometers, 1,000 meters, or it's like what is it? What does it come out to?
A 5K is 3 miles.
Yeah, 5K is 3 miles. So it ends up coming out to like 0.6 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
0.6.
So they're like, go up to this base and relieve this unit. Probably, yeah, that was loud. That was your stomach or your asshole?
Stomach or his ass?
We're gonna fire. We're gonna fire our
the restrooms
our film
up the
editing
stairs
audio
to
guy.
the right.
He's done.
Bro, it's a small room, man. You can't
wow.
be doing that
Clearing
kind of
this
shit.
place out.
He's cleared his bunker out.
And he just dropped an IED. So
no more beer for him. Jesus, man, he's got bubble gut going on.
So we get out like maybe 300 meters into this, and we receive contact, which we didn't even know was contact. 1-6 unit was like a fire team of them was at the beginning and a fire team at the end, and we were like in the middle.
Was that your front seat, right seat?
Yeah. That was our front seat, right seat,
whatever.
left seat, right seat, whatever it's fucking called.
Hey, this is
Left
hey,
seat,
this is
right
Marja.
seat.
This is what we're supposed to do. Bow.
So literally, us in the back, we're getting contact already, and the front 1-6 element there, we actually have photos. It's fucking hilarious. Like one of the guys like already taking photos and shit. Like we didn't know we were getting shot at. Like we didn't know that sound. And all the 1-6 guys are like reacting. They're like getting in the prone, and we were getting hit from both sides, left and right, east and west. And we're all just kind of standing there like in a knee. And rounds are just zipping by, and we're like, what do we do? And they're like, just fire in any direction that's not a Marine. And we're like, what? Like, what about, we just went through a whole week where they told us we had to have PID and ROEs and all this stuff. And he's like, no. When you're getting shot at, just fucking shoot back. And we're like, okay, cool. Like, you just start shooting.
Yeah.
That's like the Wild West.
Thomas, my point man, he just starts launching 203s, like any general direction. ODA, what's ODA?
Operational Detachment Alpha.
There we go.
Cool. Yeah.
One smart guy in here.
So those guys come rolling up, and they're like
SF guys.
Yeah, SF guys come rolling up. They fucking take our packs from us, thank God. They're like, we throw our packs on there. They push them up for us. They're rocking dual 50 cals and shit. They get us out. We get contact like 3 or 4 times pushing up to this base. Finally relieve the base. We're dead. I remember, like, I was a pretty good PT guy. Like, I always ran 300s. I was in shape. Like, never fell out of March besides my land nav. And I remember I couldn't get over this, like, 3-foot compound wall. Like, I was so broke off, like, rolling over the wall. And we finally get into the compound, and we all just drop. We like just.
Was that just pushed like to your physical limit?
Yeah, we just dropped. Just pushed to that limit.
Didn't you guys expect that though? Like, well, I mean, you guys were trained to it, but did you guys?
No, we weren't ready for like any of that. So it's like, boom, 15 minutes in the Marja, you have your combat action ribbon, the thing that every Marine fucking searches for, and we have it.
Welcome, here you go.
Yeah, welcome. Here's
Got it now.
Here's your car, and you got 7 months of this.
Okay, 7 months of just.
So 7 months of sustained combat, basically. Last 2 months, like, kind of tapered off a little bit, but yeah, that was basically my deployment in a nutshell. One of the guys is writing a book. I talked to him, and he said our first 46 days, we averaged about 3 to 6 firefights a day for every squad on the deployment.
Damn.
So that's a lot of
combat.
A lot of combat.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like some guys are like, oh yeah, it's just like fire team, pop shots, whatever. No, these are like like complex attacks, like getting hit in U-shaped ambushes, trying to draw you into IEDs, and they're good. No doubt the Taliban knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, for the people that don't know, this is February. I got in Afghanistan. I wasn't in Marja. I was on the outskirts.
This is June.
No.
Oh, you're saying June.
I'm talking about Marja.
This is June.
Yeah, I know. When you first got there, we were in country at the same time, so it's funny that we talked about it. But I was in Kandahar, and feeling the effects of Marja though at this time, like the rocket attacks went up. That's the beginning of what they call the fighting season. When the warmer weather starts warming up, these guys in their pajama pants start coming out and start firing. They want to fight. They don't want to fight in the cold. They're no dummies. Right. They're smart with what they do.
Oh no! Yeah.
So when comes
they're
February,
also wearing flip flops, climbing up and down freaking mountains and shit. Like
and raising
shit gets
hell.
cold.
Yeah, and they're raising hell.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't give a fuck.
Believe it. A lot of people don't understand that the weather actually plays a huge factor because of just logistical means that they have. For me being
Marja didn't have weather.
No, it was just hot all the time. But up in Kunar, like we had heat, and then the winters were cold.
Oh, it was terrible in
Marja.
It was 120 degrees during the day, and then 50 at night.
Yeah. We were at about 110 during the summer, during the day, but in the freaking winter, it freaking dropped. Like, because we're up in the mountains, we actually had snow. So in the wintertime, it would actually, our overall contact time would decrease because they're walking around in freaking flip-flops and maybe some sneakers and like man dresses and shit, and they're climbing up and down the side of the freaking mountain and shit with mortars and 107s and everything. It's just not logistically possible to do that, to sustain the pace that you had in July and August in January, February when you got snow, it's 30 degrees, you're climbing up and down slippery mountains. It's just not going to happen.
I know during this time, like February of 2010, we were just getting rained on. It was the rainy season, and the wadis were overflowing, and it was like the break. Like we had some snow, but in Kandahar, in the mountains area, weather was shitty. I don't know, but that weather in that country is so unpredictable.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. And as you start getting in elevation, like I said, where I was up in Kunar, like it's just the weather's everywhere.
Yeah.
Half the time we couldn't even get cast, close air support. We couldn't even get cast because of the mountains and because of the weather. Like we would get like these weird clouds, these weird winds and everything like that. That
it's crazy how this.
Have you ever been caught in a firefight with no dust off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
It's awful.
Yeah, they're
it's
like,
awful.
Air's going red. You have to go firm. So go firm meant stop patrolling. One time we were like 300 meters away from the base. Like could see it, like it's there, touch it, and they're like, stop, go firm. Air's red. Like wait, so. Air can't come support me, and if I get into a firefight, they can't medevac me.
Right.
But I can
sprint
walk right 300 meters and run.
Yeah,
and they had the stupid G-Boss thing that could like see you. Yeah. They were like, stop moving. Like they're like, yeah. It's like, what? I don't know. I don't understand those types of moves.
What's this? This. You got a story about like mortars ground?
Mortars. Yeah. The time that I didn't get blown up. I'm sorry to tell you, I got pretty lucky. I'm looking at Ruben because he's been blown up. The time you didn't get blown up,
so. And we're going to move on from that story, you dick.
No, so, we had a route Route Rabbit that we got most of our contact on. It was really strong point for the whole deployment. We lost a lot of dudes on that route, and we wanted to go draw some contact from it. So we go around a hill, and we come back, and I wore these dog tags with like a cross on them. They're always like, a couple 100 meters away from the base, like, kiss them, whatever, like little thing. Like I always made sure that I had them. And I look for them, and I like can't find them. And I'm like, fuck, like where are they? And I'm looking down to like see if I dropped them. And as I'm stepping, I see the yellow tape. And the yellow tape is what they used to wrap all the IEDs, the
water
jugs,
tanks,
the pressure plates. Like I see the yellow tape sticking out of the ground, and there's nothing I can do. And I put my foot down, and you've tossed like a practice training grenade, like with just like they just go pop.
The poof.
Yeah.
So that poof happens underneath my feet, and I feel like the little rumble, and I'm just like, it's a very quiet moment, like it's almost like everything goes on pause, and I'm like, all right, where's the big one? Nothing. I'm just standing there, and I was second guy from point, so I yell at my point man. I'm like, Thomas, stop, and I hold up the whole patrol. And my lieutenant's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we want to go back. Like, let's get back to base. Like, they're going to call airs red, like, the dust and everything. And I was like, hey, sir, I'm standing on an IED. Well, how the fuck do you know that? I'm like, because it just went off but didn't go off? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
like,
how do you answer that?
I'm standing on it. So
shit.
it was actually EOD's fastest response. They were actually on patrol to our base in MRAPs, big mine-resistant vehicles, and they just happened to be like right there. They get out to us within like probably 20 minutes. They one of the squads escorted them out to us, and the EOD guys, everyone creates a cordon around me, and I'm standing there on this fucking pressure plate. The EOD guys, they use their mine detectors. They like come out to me like within probably like 10 yards, right? And they say, okay, this is close, we're coming. They toss me the mine detector, and they're like, all right, like sweep around you. So I go to my right, like right within reach. It gets very metallic signature, so as it gets more the density hardness, it starts to beep more. It's like beep, 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 like I get it to my right, I get it to my left. They tell me to just like mark it with a chem light, so like I just like toss a chem light, and then they used engineer tape, which is just like this white tape to mark their path. The guy crawls up and like is like sticking his hand in the soil. He crawls up to me. His hand just all of a sudden goes like up to his wrist, like he hits the soft soil where it's like buried. He dusts it away, and you can see like that green color of like a mortar, like like it was like rusty green. And he's like, you almost see the facial reaction. He's like, fuck, like, this is legit. He backs away. He places a small charge on it, backs away, tells me, once they get like 100 meters away, to sweep my way to the engineer tape, and then I'm good from there. So I sweep my way from the engineer tape, I walk, get behind a berm. They call in the controlled det, they blow it. Post-blast analysis says it was probably 20 to 30 pounds of HME jug. They found one pressure plate and then 3 82-millimeter mortar fins. So
that'll fuck you down.
I wouldn't have just lost the leg.
Nah.
Like, no. So I actually, my squad was one of the only squads in Marja to not get blown up. I got my award for finding every IED but one for my squad. I found everyone. I don't know. I just had a very good observation skills. I just found them.
I would not want to fucking walk with next to you.
No one did.
Frickin'
It's
patrol,
actually
man,
kind of
ever.
funny. It's actually kind of funny.
Ever
No
walk
one,
with you.
Yeah. I remember the one day we were like walking and like Thomas like going straight. He was always my point man. He's like going straight and I'm like, no, go right. And he's like, why? And I was like, I don't like where you're walking. And like I go up a little bit and I look to my left and it's a DFC. It's a propane tank cut in half, like with just yellow tape. It was like just a feeling, like it's just weird, like because I saw the paths that like the little goat trails, and he would like try to take the goat trail, and I'm like, no, off the goat trail. And sure enough, like you go up, you look back, and there's an ID. I'm like, motherfucker, like, thank God he listened to me.
Oh, fuck that, man. So you get back from Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
You decide what? You decide you're looking into a career in law enforcement?
No. Nope. Long shot. Wanted to go into
let me say that again. You got out of the Marines and decided to get into basket weaving.
Mm-hmm.
And then
underwater
somehow...
basket weaving. No, got out of the Marine Corps for my lovely wife. Been with her for 10 years. Just called it quits. I put in packages for EOD. I love the IEDs. I put in packages for MESAP. Get out. Go to California. Figure I'd sit on a surfboard and just chill. Enlist in college. I enroll in college. Go to a little community college out there. We moved back to New Jersey. Didn't really know what my purpose was. Had a low time. The GI Bill, for anyone listening, if you're getting out of the military, enroll in college as soon as possible, even before you get out, because it takes 3 to 6 months for your GI Bills to kick in sometimes. So I hit that where I had like a 4-month delay on my benefits. I wasn't getting paid, but I had to go to school. Didn't have a job. I only had, a little bit of money that I didn't spend from deployment left. So I hit the low spot. Moved back to Jersey, end up getting my degree. My next door neighbor's like, hey, you're a disabled vet. Why don't you take the test? You can get a job as a cop. I'm like, I don't want to be a cop. Like, no way. But fell into it. Loved the job. A lot of connection with the veteran community. A lot of cops or vets. So, I don't know. It kind of just, like, continues my story. But I changed my degree to psychology. I really want to help vets. So.
And you finished that up?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
How long ago did you finish that up?
I took one break just for the police academy, and then I finished it up immediately the next semester.
Are you doing anything like right now with it?
Right now, I'm not really. I mean, the degree plays right into law enforcement. I mean,
of course.
You deal
with
with
the CIT, the crisis intervention training.
Yeah, CIT, crisis intervention.
It's this weird. It's this weird circle and family, like the Veterans Diversion Program. The CIT training, which is the crisis intervention, which has law enforcement and
mental health providers
come together for a week-long training, recalibrate, and then now with the Phoenix program getting involved, it seems like everything's like a full circle. Like we can't escape the same people, and it's great though because we all work well together, like we're well-oiled machines somehow. I mean, because this
is
the
dysfunctional well-oiled.
I mean, for the people that are listening, this is the conversations we have on a daily basis. Like this is lunch,
and basically
like as messed up as it sometimes is.
No, this is much more organized and
than a Wednesday lunch.
Much more PG-13 than our lunch
once we get
meetings.
Barkus on here, we'll get Barkus on here, but you'll explain.
No Barkus.
No, it's more of a
shut up, Barkus.
Hey, shut up. There we go. Hey, it's not. But I mean, for how we work together, and you have your degree.
I'll lay it out real quick. Like. Veterans come back, and some of them have really bad problems, really bad PTSD, and that leads to drinking. It leads to drinking and driving. It leads to criminal charges, and it's like it's not that it's their fault, but it is their fault. But like they don't have any guidance. They don't have families to come home to. They're living in an apartment by themselves, trying to use the GI Bill. Barely passing school, and they fall into being labeled a criminal because of their drinking issue or. Drugs, dependency, all these things. So, like, this program, basically we intervene as, from the prosecutor's office, we say, hey, don't charge these veterans yet. Mm-hmm. Like, don't make them criminals. Don't ruin the rest of their life. Let's try to divert them and let's get them treatment.
Right.
Let's get them mental health treatment. Let's get them into programs and turn their life around. And then we can just let the charges go away, and we fixed him.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Just
it's
like any other
really-
injury, Joe. Just like any like a broken bone or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
This is
you're from a medical perspective, you're treating the illness, not the symptom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem, is that a lot of resources and a lot of programs out there treat the symptom, and then you're not taking care of the actual illness itself, so it's going to resurface.
Yeah, and this program makes sure that they're going to school or they got a full-time job or whatever.
They're not losing
pushes
us.
them.
I can tell
It
you, they're
pushes
full
them.
circle with
It
us because
pushes
like
them.
they're in the program, they're not in the program, but we have eyes on
Yeah.
24/7.
Yep.
all
Once
the
you're in the
time.
program,
You're locked in, buddy.
You're locked in.
Hey,
like we're
enjoy
gonna
the
watch
ride,
it,
and
we're
you know
gonna
what?
show up.
Follow the rules. It's simple, and we're not. The program's not here to deter anyone from help. Basically it's the biggest thing for help. I think in that we have.
Our biggest
we are like months and moons away from other
states.
States, county. Yeah, we are the state. The county that the whole state looks at because we are
We've been
set
around
the tone.
for
I think we
3.5
set the tone.
years
Yeah.
versus all of the other the other 20 counties. What is it? 21 counties.
I
in the
don't
state?
like to brag, but what are we at? 100% right now? Still?
We're at 100%, and the national average for the states that have had this in place for years is, I think, like it's an 86 or 87% success rate, which is still awesome.
Yeah,
we're at 100%, and we've been around for 3.5 years. We're doing.
And the
something
fact that
right.
we're still operating, I mean, this is how we operate. We are who we are. We operate. We all come from different backgrounds, different.
Yeah.
And we're
Which
here
is
for
great
one mission. And
it's great that we can have a program that's so successful.
Yes.
With such a band
Debauchery.
of fucking misfits that we have.
You know what?
It's
But that's what
fucking
we
hysterical.
need. That's what gets
it's so
those
organic.
guys through the program. Is they see that we're all misfits and we're making it through, and they kind of jump
And
on
we're
board
here-
with
we're here to
us.
help you.
Yeah.
And I say
We're here to
that.
help you.
I say that with
Like,
our.
we're fucked up. You're fucked up. Like, let's go. We'll all be fucked up together. And here's
Right.
your college degree, buddy. Here's a job. Like,
I say this with Calibrate all the time. I say, hey, let things happen organically. Like we're not forcing nothing. I go.
Yeah, no.
And everything that's happened from our nonprofit that we're all involved with, everything's happened organically. Nothing's forced on. We go, hey, we'll just fire. Hey, this meeting didn't go this well. All right, cool. Next month we'll we'll change something.
Yeah,
hey, this workout didn't work out. Hey, next month we'll change it up. And I think that's what it's all about. It's not about like, hey, this is our program.
Well, listen,
This is what-
in all honesty, the Marines have a great slogan behind that. You adapt and you overcome, and you're always.
The Army doesn't have that.
Army of one.
Shut up, Nagel.
They're one.
Army strong, always strong.
How
never
many?
weak.
How many slogans do you guys have, by the way?
It changes like every 2 years. I have no idea. I can't keep up anymore. Shut up, Johnny. You don't know shit either.
Semper Fi.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Semper Fidelis.
Semper Gumby.
AJ, we're like the fucking minorities in here. Overall, you know this, right?
Wow, bring these peoples in.
God, now he wants to bring in politics with minorities and all this stuff and everything. You get to.
No, next time we have freaking 2 Marines in one room, we have to get like a box of crowns. That has to be like an actual like.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
You should see the pictures
So-
I can draw.
I
He can't
don't
draw.
want to see the pictures you could draw. But anyway, so obviously
the crime.
your background and your upbringing was unconventional.
Yeah.
It wasn't you had a lot of ups and downs, and again a lot of adversity.
If anyone has 4 dads, 1 mom, and broken home, and I didn't even bring in my sister that was given up for adoption. Like we didn't even get to that part in my childhood. She called me like 2 years ago, so I'm gonna throw it out to her. Love her to death, but yeah,
It's definitely unconventional at best. And then you get into the Marine Corps, which realistically, in the grand scheme of it all, as a society, we are,
different.
we're different, definitely.
But that's okay. That's
we're in a
okay.
minority itself, because it's
Yeah.
like 1% of the population. So that in itself is unconventional, and then deploying is unconventional because not everybody deploys, and experiences in there is unconventional. And then when you come home, you switched your course of study. And you switched your career path, and so there seems to always be a lot of change and adversity in your life.
You
and
have
now,
to adapt and overcome.
I mean, shit, man. Now you're part of Recalibrate. You're part of Veteran Diversion Program, setting the tone for the entire state. you're a competition shooter, which you go independently. You're not only a sheriff's officer, but, and you have represented them in marksmanship competitions, but you even just go on, you go on your own, and you're just like, fuck it. All these people are representing the FBI, the DEA, Secret Service. I'm representing Curt Nagel. Fuck you, you know. And you go and you freaking win. And you freaking win, which it kills you, man.
I do have to put some out there.
Trigger jerking.
Who was your rifle instructor? So I just want to know who that.
Which one?
The one that basically right before your competition gave you like a license.
I would say Teddy Kukowski. He's absolutely an amazing instructor. Very humble guy. He's taught me a lot.
He'll be on the podcast. I've talked to him, and he's gonna come on and give a law enforcement perspective, and what a great dude. And I just had to throw it out there. I was like, I wanted to see who.
So now this is the first time I'm hearing of that. So I'm already like foreseeing a fire team talk at a range. You know, like live on location, we'll go to a range and get some shooting done.
We might have to do that.
We might have to do that.
Might have AJ bring his combat camera out there and take some shots. I know he's all about. All right, we'll give you some beer.
You can't bring the beer on the range, though.
No,
I will shut that down.
And AJ, you can shoot too.
You can have the beer after the range.
All right.
But we are bringing Teddy on here, and I know he's
safety first.
He's stoked. He's always asking what we're doing, and he's been a good guy in the law enforcement community with the range and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little plug that I had to throw that in there.
Probably one of the most humble guys.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Why'd you say my name on the podcast? I don't need that."
Because I felt like it.
Great leader, great guy overall. So
3-6 Papa.
3-6 Papa. He's on.
That's his Instagram name. If you want to follow him.
That's his Instagram name.
Yeah.
3-6 Papa.
All right. So, if people want to follow you on the social media.
I change my name every once in a while, but
So,
right now it's Trigger Jerking Kurt because I have a really bad trigger jerk, but somehow I still hit the target. I just slammed that trigger home.
What were we saying before we started? I shoot straight but still curve to the left?
Yeah, I shoot straight but still curve to the left.
We are copywriting that as we speak right now.
Yeah, that's copyrighted. I've said that first.
It has nothing to do with shooting.
I shoot straight.
Hey, I don't see anything
still
wrong
curve
with
to the left. Yeah, I like that. And curve like Kurt. You know?
Curve and Kurt.
We put another
Curve
play on
and
word.
Curve and Kurt. What do you think? What do you think as far as what would be listed as your most like frustrating thing about dealing with the whole situation in Afghanistan and the whole situation of being a Marine or in the Marines separately?
Guilt. Survivor's guilt. Petty. You know, putting yourself down, thinking that you didn't do enough. And that constant, like, reminder. But you got to overcome it. You got to, for the guys that are listening, like, you got to realize, like, you did everything that you could. Don't look back. Keep looking forward. Set new goals. Crush your goals. Set your goals small. Accomplish the small ones. Set them bigger. Set them bigger each time. And, you know, that's what drives success. But, yeah, you can't keep looking at the past. We can all smoke and joke and, you know, look at the deployments and all the crazy shit that we did. And, you know, that's awesome. That's in the history books. You're in the history books. Like, kids are going to learn about you. Your name might not be in it. We're not Navy SEALs. We're not wearing tridents. You don't get to write books or do movies, but you're a part of something. You're forever going to have that. Close that chapter up. Open up a new chapter. Start writing. I mean, there's no reason to put yourself down. There's no reason to have guilt, self-guilt. I have it. I just said I have it. But you got to get past that.
I think that's the biggest thing that we try to get across. Like, I mean, with we have fire team talk, but and he busts on me.
If you're thinking about it, talk about it.
Because someone's already been through that. And the guys that have been through it and pulled through know what it's like, that struggle or that dark period. And I know that there's a little Jocko thing that he does, and I sent it to my veterans during the diversion program, that it's okay. It's okay to feel certain ways. It's okay to feel not normal. It's okay that people may not be able to relate to you.
Yeah,
it's okay.
We play that video at CIT.
Yeah, and that's the video that will hit the heartstrings all the time. I think for the most vets, send it to my guys, and it's you can't do it alone. That's the thing. And the whole fire team thing, it came about. It was the greatest thing that Ruben's ever come up with, besides Shut Up Podcas, was that fire team. Like, no matter what, even in the military and then outside the military, you have to find your fire team. You have to find those guys that you can call, that you can connect with, that you can rely on. And I think we have it in our group itself that we just don't realize it. We don't call it our fire team, but we're like, yo, Ruben, what's going on? Hey, yo, Barkus, say what's going on. And we're always in connection. We're always talking. And even with the meetings, I think people are fighting their own.
The last meeting, Jay talked about the post about being in the hole.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to jump in and be like, yeah, I had the same thing happen, but I'll say it now. I did. And I'll just kind of summarize it. If you go on Recalibrate, @WeCalibrate Instagram.
No, it got changed.
It got changed, sorry. Recalibrate New Jersey.
_ New Jersey. Yeah.
So I'll just summarize real quick, but a senior NCO went by a soldier with PTSD, called him for help. Senior NCO yelled out, told him to suck it out, dig deep, drive on, threw him a shovel. But the soldier with PTSD could not suck it up, drive on, so he dug the hole a little deeper. Senior officer went by with the soldier with PTSD, called out for help. The senior officer told him to use the tools the senior NCO gave him and threw him a bucket. But the soldier with PTSD used the tools his senior NCO gave him, and he dug the hole deeper, filled the bucket. A well-known psychologist rolled by. He heard the soldier with the PTSD cry for help. He said, how'd you get there? Where were you born? Did your parents put you there? Tell me yourself. Will alleviate all your stress, loneliness. The soldier with PTSD talked to him. He handed him some pills. The soldier with PTSD thanked him, but he was still in the hole. A priest came by, threw him the Bible, said a prayer for you. I'm cutting it up a little bit, but
that's fine.
Getting to the point. But none of that stuff helped. He kept just digging himself deeper. And finally, a recovering soldier with PTSD happened to be passing by. The soldier with PTSD cried out, help me. I'm stuck in this hole. Right away, the recovering soldier with PTSD jumped down in the hole with him. The soldier with PTSD said, what are you doing? Now we're both stuck here. But the recovering soldier with PTSD said, calm down, it's okay, I've been here before, I know how to get out. Awesome. That post, like hearing Jay say he posted it, someone reached out to him, they talked, he's doing better, got him into recovery. I posted it, I had 2 guys reach out to me. I'm sure posting it up on the Recalibrate, like something as small like, Instagram, like we make that post, like someone reads that and they're like, yo, that, like, you just affected someone. And I think, like, even if they're, who cares about 15,000 likes or 5 million followers or whatever, but you helped, like, that one guy, like, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. Like, you helped one dude.
In the world. I mean, we got Dan and Rory that are involved with the social media stuff as well as, like, I am, and we all see the same things. We all see the same messages. Sometimes, I mean, we're all working and stuff like that, but when you go back and like you're looking at the messages, it could be me, Rory, or Dan replying back, and these people that write us. It's like it's not every day, but when you see these messages, like, hey, keep this going. Yeah. I've read your posts, and I keep reading your posts, and I like them, and they're influencing me in a good way. And I think you're doing a good job, positive stuff, like it's affecting me. This one hit home. And I'm like,
you got to get them to the meetings then. Third Wednesday every month.
Yeah, you can bring a horse to water, they say, but you can't make them drink it. So.
Oh, you can make them drink it. You were in the Marine Corps.
I've been to drink that canteen or but it's that same thing though.
Oh, yeah.
And these guys leading by example.
That's the
doing
thing.
The good
reach out.
Yeah, reach out and have these guys that are available. And I don't think our aspect is, or our thing is, we're not going to feel bad for you. We're going to help you. Like, hey, we're not going to dwell on the bad.
It's kind of the opposite of the keyboard warrior thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants to be a keyboard warrior until, like, someone's, like, standing in front of you, punching you in the face. It's kind of the opposite for us vets. Like, we don't want to reach out face-to-face, but we'll reach out on social media because you don't know who you are.
But then once they start reaching out, I mean...
and exactly.
When we approach you, though, I know Dan and I, we've approached you.
Yeah.
Hey, I know some vets want to write about things. You right off the bat was like, hey, I got some things I've been waiting to...
Dude,
and
you know the Green Monster from the Marine Corps, like the record books? Like, I have 3 of those. So one thing that really helped me through all my tough times was sleep. I had sleep problems. And I would just write. And I got notes and notes and notes. And it would be bullshit. Like, talking about how I got a fucked up haircut. And, like, I'm never going to this person again. Like, like, just notes. But then I would have, like, serious stuff about, like, I had a dream about first time I shot someone. And it was, like, I wrote about it. And I was just pissed off because that day, someone, in college, they were like, "Oh, you're in the Marine Corps? Did you ever shoot anyone?"
That's
like, I got that question. Like, I never thought I would get that question. And, like, at first I was like, well, yeah, I did. But I told the person no. I was like, nah, I never did anything. And then later on when I'm on the bus, because I commuted to New York, I'm, like, thinking about on the bus. I'm like, fuck, and I couldn't sleep, so I woke up in the middle of the night, and I just started writing about it. I wrote, like, 3 pages. I wrote every detail down to, like, how my fucking bootlaces were tied. Like, I remember that day. I'll never forget it. And that asshole, well, not really asshole.
They don't mean that.
They don't know. Like, they don't realize, but, like, he brought it back. It was like he brought back that day, and then, I can't sleep.
Yeah, but I think that was cool. When I saw your face when you're like, I could write you, and like your face grew up. I'm like, yeah. I mean, we could, and it's for not all other vets too, not just Kurt, but we'll put your name anonymously. Like you don't have to put your name on there.
Yeah, no one will
and
know. You can
I think
write
what Dan had said
everything
too,
that you want,
and people
get it
can
out.
Reflect on that, and it's the responses from those writings. I know we every Sunday I post this poetry. JT,
That stuff's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a great book.
I'm
I
gonna grab
bought
his
one of his
book.
books. Yeah, I have one of his books. I'm going to purchase
Give it
the
to
other
me.
2. I will.
Actually, you know what? He wrote it. I'll buy it.
He's actually a Martian Marine as well. I've been in contact with him through Rory, and he's allowed us. He gave me the digital post of his book, 2 of his 3, and every Sunday is going to be a poem, a little excerpt from his book, and a lot of them hit home to a lot of guys, and it's kind of cool to see that. That's his outlet of writing.
Oh,
and
it's
he
great.
writes great shit, and you wrote some great things that we've posted. Dan's writing good things. I've wrote a couple things, so it's just cool.
And the funny thing about writing? I hate English. And English sucks. And everyone that works with me knows it. They call it Nagelisms because I just, like, make up words. And I don't know how to, like, what is it, Absecon? Like, I don't know how to say names in Jersey. Like people make fun of me for, like, the way that I pronunciate things. And they call them
Did you say pronunciate?
Exactly. So there you go. And
that's why we love you.
Yeah, so. But I love writing.
No,
And,
I mean,
it's an awesome outlet, and look, you can share it. You don't have to share it. You can
you
throw
can
it
sweat
under.
it out.
You can sweat it out. You can PT.
Come PT with us.
Love PT. Yeah.
We have our monthly workouts.
Monthly workout.
You've been involved in the last two.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. I'm not a CrossFit guy. I hate CrossFit.
But it's not CrossFit workouts.
It is
It's not CrossFit workouts.
an amazing PT session that brings military veterans back together. And it's just like being back in the platoon, and you're all
the laughing, the joking.
Yeah, the laughing, the joking, like you're just
ball
pushing
busting.
through the ball busting. You're trying to get through the workout together.
I haven't busted out my silkies
Yeah,
yet, but maybe next month I'll bust
You know
them out.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we should do that.
I think so.
But
Silky's workout next month. You gonna show up?
I may have to come out of retirement. I may have to come out of retirement.
I know. We're waiting for you to come out.
Yeah.
Rory's been there.
Bust out my fucking Ranger panties. That'd be a good time.
But I can't wait.
Said the R word.
But I think that's the thing across the workout thing is a lot of people think it because we're
Ranger.
Oh, fuck off. Or what do you guys? Yeah, you guys call them silkies, whatever the fuck.
A lot of people think that it's at a CrossFit gym, but it's not CrossFit workouts. It's more or less just body work and getting us moving. And that's the thing for vets.
It's like Marine Corps PT.
Yeah.
Like pick up your buddy and squat him. Like
exercise number 5. Go.
Yeah.
Don't quit. I don't know. And we push each other, and that's the best part.
What's the next one?
March 17th. Yeah, St. Patty's Day. It's going to be in the morning, so before you get your drink on.
No. We decided, I thought we were going to bring drinks to the PT session for afterwards.
Well, I mean, if you're hardcore.
A cheers.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that before, if you want to drink the night.
No, not
prior
before.
heavy,
Not
ahead.
before.
And puke.
No.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not 18 again in the barracks
Yeah.
and can wake up drunk at 4 a.m. and
Maybe
go
we'll
for
run
a
a
PT
PFT.
session.
Maybe we'll just run PFT that day. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
No.
Because hey,
Man.
what'd you do the night before? Now you're gonna pay for it. Pay for it.
Yeah.
But no, it should be a good time. It's 10:30 at Apache CrossFit on the 17th, March 17th.
I'll be
And
there.
Apache CrossFit is where?
I'll be there.
Apache CrossFit is where?
Do you have a phone with the fucking internet?
Well,
Interwebs.
I was
actually.
Apache CrossFit.
It's
I'll
on Fisher-
spell it.
It's on Fisher and Hoover Ave,
APCHE.
the corner.
Thank you, Johnny.
Google it.
Dickface.
Hey.
I was giving him the opportunity to tell people where
Sorry,
it
I
was.
forgot we
Is this
had
what-
an
is this-
audience.
is
I
this
just
when I
started
regulate?
arguing with
Hey,
it.
Ruben, can I regulate now?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Apache CrossFit, you're a veteran. Show up. March 17th.
No excuses. Come on. I don't care if you haven't worked out in a year and a half. I just got back from shoulder surgery. Don't give a fuck. I'm working out with these guys. We're all working out.
You go your own pace,
Yes.
but we're going to push you.
Yeah, and we're gonna have fun at the same time and meet some good dudes because we have a lot of guys there
Great
and
crew.
it's growing. It's actually.
And if anyone can beat Dow,
I'm gonna tackle him.
you are a champion.
I'm
Because
gonna
that
just
dude
fight
is
him.
that dude
I
is
don't
a
know.
beast.
We'll have him on the podcast. He's so humble. You know
He'll
what?
be here.
I don't know. We'll have to get him on the podcast.
Love that guy.
No, everyone loves that guy. But just
All right.
so we're gonna wrap this up today with Kurt. I really appreciate you giving us
2 hours on the dot almost. Like,
2 hours. This is the longest podcast we've had. In all 5 of them that we've had.
don't invite a guy that likes to talk a lot.
Thanks,
Jeez.
buddy. I know. Yeah, you
It
have
was that
diarrhea
long
of the
kiss
mouth.
I had.
No, you have a great story, and it's something that
Thanks,
needs to
guys.
be told, and people need to hear it. I hope a couple vets listen to it, and if not vets, just any civilian listens
If
to
it
it.
help-
It's all
helps
just
one
putting
person,
things in
that's it.
perspective, and that's what this whole podcast is about: is overcoming some day-to-day things, and maybe somebody can pick up something from it. Just want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to get these stories out because this is the most important thing for veterans, and it's given us this platform. Definitely want to thank Tori and everyone at Backward Flag for their continuous support. Today we drank the Oak Armored Pale Ale. Thank you.
It's good.
Delicious.
Yeah, very delicious. Even AJ approves. He's smiling ear to ear right now.
AJ's almost fucking asleep in the corner.
Dude, we've been talking so much. He drank them all.
Kurt's gonna drive him home now. We're gonna give him an Uber, but no, Backwards Flag's been nothing but been great support for us. Pliables has been.
What's Rory's beer? They still have it?
Oh, something's missing.
Oh.
Yeah. I actually have the T-shirt.
Sorry,
that-
Rory, I'm laughing.
It's a.
Why are you
it's
laughing
a-
at Rory?
great.
He's not even
Bro,
here to
it's-
defend himself.
I know, but
you can
that's
defend Rory.
awesome.
It's defend him.
Something's missing.
It's a skeleton. It's a skeleton in like full gear and everything, and he's pointing.
The guy's
and he's
missing a leg.
and he's got a red prosthetic leg.
That's
Well,
fucking
it was
awesome.
We already
pretty
know you're
cool.
going to
That's a
hell, so
fucking
now you're definitely
awesome-
going to hell.
That's
so.
an awesome beer.
Oh, it's
Oh.
actually.
You're going to
yeah.
hell too? Every Marine's going to
Yeah,
hell.
we're all
I'll
going.
meet you there.
Well,
The
he's not a
Army's going to hell with us.
He's not a Marine, by
Wow,
the way.
look at that. That's what I just said.
I know.
I said the Army's going to hell
Well,
with us.
so I'm
All right.
opening up
Well,
a bar
we'll-
down there,
we'll finish
and
it
you're
up
not
there.
invited.
All right.
Kurt can.
Oh, that's
Kurt,
cute.
Kurt
Yeah,
can
I
come.
can go.
Maybe you
All
comb
right,
your
I'll see
hair.
you down there.
But
Choose not to. I put a hat on and fuck you. How about that?
Pliables, I do. They are another support for us to support the podcast. Go to Pliables, Toms River, and/or Island Heights. Get Pliables. Have you had one of them? You gotta
No.
get the Poke Bowl
I'll give it a shot.
on point.
My wife loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
she'll.
I love it. I love it. I probably eat there at least twice a week, 3 times a week, and just like anything else, thanks everyone else for supporting us. All the first responders, police, first aid, all law enforcement, firefighters. You guys do the day-to-day grind. I know a couple of us can relate to that, and we really have to say thank you. Even those sheriff's officers that do hard work. They do.
And
Not
who
busting
do you call when you can't deal with someone?
Calls me.
Ghostbusters.
Okay, we won't go there. But
All right.
you know who you call.
We don't call Ruben. All right, maybe we will at some point. At some point, maybe.
Shut up, Barkus.
Shut up, Barkus. And hey, thank you for listening. Until next time, out.